Greetings, vibrational greetings everyone. Before we begin, everybody please just take a deep breath. Hola primo, bendiciones. Voy a hacer uno en español ahorita. Everyone who's joining us right now, just please take a deep breath. And just take a deep breath remembering your presence, remembering your truth, remembering your authenticity, remembering your inner voice. And exhale all the noise, all the distractions, all the confusion. Just exhale it out. And just sit with this for a moment. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. And ready to receive. Thank you everyone for joining us once again. It's been a while since we've been on Instagram because I'm still learning Instagram. So just like anything in life, the more we put effort into something, the more we learn. So the more effort I put into this, the more I'll learn about Instagram. So, saludos primo. So the topic for today, which I'm not able to do like Facebook, unless there's a way, but if any of you have some experience that you guys can share some advice, some feedback, it would be much appreciated. That way I can bring better quality content to people. So that being said, the subject for today is quality of labor. And we just passed this holiday weekend, and shout outs and much love to my partner Alice, my fiance Ali, and her family that we just visited over the weekend, which is all, we did a Facebook Live, and I'm still, you know, if your expertise is social media, and if you can help out by giving me some advice on, I know that you can save it when you do a video on Facebook. You could save it and it's in your archive, like it's in your phone. But unfortunately with Instagram I can't save it, and I can't transfer Facebook or whatever's on my phone to Instagram in a video. I can only do short videos. So if anybody knows that, and I did upgrade to the professional account. Not upgrade, but I did, you know, access that. So, like I said, we're still learning along the way. So, the topic for today is quality of labor. What is your quality of labor? And we have all kinds of different labor. I mean, I've worked construction, I've worked in the fields, I've worked, you know, Walmart, I've worked Mervyn's, I've worked Bed Bath & Beyond, I've worked Jack in the Box, I've worked Burger King, I've worked, what else? Telemarketing, I've worked MLM, I've worked different jobs. I mean, I've even done community service because I was in trouble most of my youth when I was a juvenile. So I've worked a lot. I know what hard work is. And I've had the blisters, I've had the blood, I've had some injuries, not detrimental, but injuries nonetheless. So when I talk about quality of labor, trust me, I've done different types of labor. But the quality of labor I'm sharing about right now is the quality of labor of your life, of your relationship with life, of your relationship with yourself. Because I said it earlier in the video, and I had a little resistance about what are people going to think, but I'm way past that. So I'll share it right now. A lot of people would tell me, and still tell me to this day, Michael, why don't you get a real job? Michael, why don't you get a 9-to-5? And I respect people that do that, but that's not my calling. That's not my purpose. That's not my path. And I can easily get a job now that I know what I know. I know the mind. I know how to, I mean, if we want to call it that, manipulate to get my way, because when you know the mind, you know how to move the mind. But I don't use it for manipulation. I don't use it to get. I use it to give. And that is what my calling is, and that's why I love doing what I do. And if you would love to support our vision, you're more than welcome to. What I'm talking about here is I'm told that my labor is not quality. But when I see the transformations back to back to back to back to back to back to back, again and again and again and again and again and again, incredible transformations that happen in so little time, with such effectiveness. Families coming together, relationships coming together, personal relationships with themselves, first and foremost, coming together and reflecting everything else. That is the greatest job, the purpose that I can live for. And if you're doing any other job, much love and much respect to you, because that is your purpose, that is your calling. Follow your heart is my message. But the quality of labor that I'm talking about is, do you take responsibility of your inner self, or do you let the responsibility fall onto others? Meaning what other people think about you, what other people say about you, what you can and can't do, the limitations that you think you don't, or you have or you don't have, the abilities, the creativeness, the talents, the gifts, so on and so forth, that you think that you have or you don't have, which you convince yourself to believe. Now, I'll make this very short and to the point, because I mean we can go in depth about this, because it is so important that we talk about this. We have another video coming soon, which is going to be part 2 to this, but it's not going to be part 2, but it's going to coincide with this video, and it's going to be part 2 of quality of labor. But which, stay tuned for that. But the labor that I'm talking about is, how are you in life? How are you in your relationship with your human self and your spiritual core self, your true self, your authentic self, your greater self, your higher self, all these different labels and names that we call it, but it doesn't matter what you call it. It matters if you're feeling it. It matters if you're resonating with it. It matters if you're aligning with it. It matters if you're remembering it. It matters if you're living it. It matters if you're giving yourself that gift. It matters if you're sharing that gift with the world. So that is the quality of labor that I speak on today. Because no matter what you do in life, if you don't give yourself to yourself, if you don't take the time for yourself, then what you do exteriorly is going to affect. Because life is going to demand it from you. The more that you run from yourself, the more that you ignore yourself, the more that you try to escape from yourself, the more that you resist yourself, the more that you fight with yourself, the more that you argue with yourself, the more you justify with yourself, the more you judge yourself, the more you condemn yourself, the more you lower yourself, expecting someone out there or something out there to transform you, I can guarantee you, talking from personal experience, you're going to continue in that wheel that the squirrel runs in. Not the squirrel, excuse me, the hamster's wheel. The hamster's wheel. You're running, you're running, you're running. You're moving, but your quality of moving, you're not moving anywhere. That's what I speak about. And I wish it would have came to me earlier, because that is a beautiful realization to share right now. But everything happens exactly how it's supposed to happen. So, the hamster's wheel. There's another video that I just felt. The hamster's wheel. We'll talk more about that in another video. But are you running, expecting to get somewhere, but you're so frustrated, you feel so helpless, you feel so confused, because you feel like you're not moving, you're not going anywhere? Or there's a reason why. Because you're forgetting about who is the one running. You're forgetting about who is the one that's making the effort, that's putting the intention to create, to co-create, to design, to be the architect of your life, which is you. So the more you look outside of yourself, the more you depend on others, the more you expect from others, the more you demand from others, or something, or someone, or some place, then you're going to feel lost, blind, and confused the rest of your life. Yeah, you'll have temporary up and downs of satisfaction, but you won't have any true, authentic growth, progressive growth internally. You'll feel better for a couple days or two, even when you go to seminars. And I'm not putting down seminars, but even when you go to a seminar, you go to a workshop, you go to these different things and events, and you feel great for a couple of days, but then you go back down. You have the ability to get back up, but you depend on someone or something to get you back up. And I'm here with another message. I'm here that you're the one that gets yourself back up. Ali and I just serve as guides, as reminders, as mirrors, mirroring the potential, the ability, the gifts and the talents that you have, but what labor are you doing every day? Because you can continue to do the labor exteriorly. Do what you do. I'm not saying for you to stop doing what you do. I have. I've stopped that. And Allie has gotten a job to support that. We have our students, and we're so grateful for our students. And we're manifesting more students. We're manifesting presentations. We're manifesting speaking engagements so we can bring that income. But comes from the income in here. It's really the outcome, because the income determines the outcome. That's another video. So, even if you see how this works, the more I speak, the more realizations come. That is because I invest in the quality of labor within, and then the abundance without manifests. So, in short, are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in the quality of labor within yourself? Because the more you look outside, the more walls you are building. The more walls you are building. Even pay attention when we breathe at the beginning of this video, of this live. When we breathe in the beginning, you start to feel at peace. You start to feel more comfort, more relaxation. That is the abundance inside of us. See, because we want to put more layers on ourselves to feel our worthiness, to feel our greatness, to feel our value. But really, it's letting go. It's detaching. That is the true meaning of detachment. It's not letting go of exteriorly. It's letting go interiorly of what it is that's keeping you away from your truth of you. So what is keeping you away from you? And are you willing to let that go? Are you willing for that truth, that so-called truth, because that's not an absolute truth, that's a relative truth. And we'll speak on that more as we go throughout the videos. But the absolute truth is that you are divine, you are grand, you are magnificent, you are the essence of all that is as you experiencing through you, through these eyes. So, in conclusion, start letting go. Start letting go. That way you can experience who you are. Because the more you put on, you're putting on someone's glasses. You're putting someone else's vision. You're being a copy of a copy of a copy. Let go of trying to be a copy and take off other people's glasses. Stop comparing yourself with other people, because you'll always let yourself down. Another video soon to come is in the race of life. Who are you competing against? Everyone? Or are you competing against yourself? Not in the sense of competition, but in the sense of intending to harness and experience the greatness that you already are, and working towards that. Being a better version of you, giving a better version of you, being a better version of you, not expecting a better version of you, giving a better version of you. And you'll realize a better version of you. Remember, you get what you give. What are you giving to yourself? Because we can give exteriorly to feel better, but that's ego. Because when you give to yourself, and then you give from that space, that's selfless giving. Selfish giving is giving in order to get out here. But when you give in order to get out here, that's a different story. You give here because you know you're going to get out here. Because that's just law. When you give more in here, you project, you inject, you share, and you receive more. So, reflect on that. Meditate on that. Because when you think, when you demand, when you force, you put more walls. But when you reflect, you digress, you discern, you contemplate, you integrate, introspect, you self-auto-examine yourself. You become more aware of yourself, and the more internally you go, and the more externally you affect. So it's really the opposite of what we've been taught. So, thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed this short live. And if you can message me if you know any expertise on this, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for joining us. May you all have a great, amazing, incredible day. Happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. But give the quality of labor to yourself, and you'll give a quality of labor. You'll give and share a quality of labor to the world, because the world needs you to step up. The world needs you to stand out for yourself, not in order to be a copy, but in order to be the original, authentic, incredible you that you are. Thank you, everyone. May you all have an incredible, blessed, amazing day. Had a call come in, so if you lost what I said, it'll be on the video. Thank you, everyone. Blessings to you all.